I am not the biggest fan of children, but my sister and parents think that I should be a better uncle, so I'm making them choose. My sister is pregnant with her first child and excited about it. I'm happy for her because she wants to be a mom. I have never particularly liked kids. I always said I never wanted kids even when I was young. Things change somewhat, and I have a stepson that I adore. But other than him, I still do not like kids. For some reason, people around me interpret my relationship with my stepson as me having softened my dislike of children when I am very clear this is not the case. I am also very introverted and do not do much about being around people who are more than the bare minimum to keep those around me happy. I am much happier at home, alone or with my girlfriend and stepson, just hanging out than with the rest of my family or friends. Today, my sister was excited about her pregnancy, and I encouraged her to be nice. She started going off on all the fun things I could do as an uncle with her yet-to-be-born child. And at first, I just let it go. I didn't play along or say no. I just let her talk. She wouldn't stop. And eventually, it just got too much. And I told her she needed to cool it. She asked what I meant, and I said she and I have a different view of my role as an uncle. She asked what I meant and said I would see her kid on birthdays, holidays and family events, but I didn't see myself doing everything she was named after. She got very upset and asked how I could say that about my soon-to-be first niece/nephew. I reminded her I am not the biggest fan of children and didn't see myself having a particularly close relationship with her child. She mentioned what a good dad I am to my stepson, and I said that's different. That's my son. I'm not her kid's father, and I don't have to be involved with her kid if I don't want to be. We also have another brother, and we both know he will want to do as much with her kid as possible. So I said it's not like the kid needs me. My parents then got the hint that she and I were in a disagreement and came over to see what was happening. Both my parents are on her side and think I should be a better uncle and should not have said something to upset my pregnant sister. I talked with my brother about it. He said that based on everything I've said my entire life, he doesn't understand why my sister would have ever had these expectations. He's not on anyone's side. He said he understands why she wants more for me, but also thinks she should have expected this. Update. My sister just called me. After the fact, she spoke with my brother and her husband last night, and they told her that there was nothing in our relationship the past 20+ years that should have led her to conclude my attitude towards her child being anything other than what I told her. She apologized if she made me feel like I was being pushed into a relationship with her child that I did not want. I apologized for the time and manner in which I said what I said and that I could have handled it better. I also apologized for not being the kind of person she was hoping for as the uncle of her child. We both accepted each other's apologies, and we're good now. Update 1. The update with my sister was accurate, but my parents did not leave it alone. They still wanted me to be more involved with my sister and her kid and would not drop it. So I called a meeting with my family today. When I say my family, I mean my siblings, brother-in-law, and parents, not my girlfriend and stepson. Before this meeting, I discussed it with my girlfriend last night, and she agreed it was okay for me to tell them the parts regarding her and our son I am about to describe, even if she didn't agree with some of the reasons for it. I explained to them again my aversion to kids and not liking being around them. Of course, they questioned why I had a stepson then. I explained to them a whole bunch of background about meeting his mom and later him and how it came to be that I love him like my own despite my not liking other kids, still that they had never heard before. They asked if the same could happen with my sister's child, and I said never say never, but it is very unlikely. I also explained to them that I am not generally social and do not do things socially often. I told them I only see the people I consider my best friends 2 to 3 times a year because that's all the energy I can muster to be social. I explained that being social and seeing people socially is like work to me, and it is mentally and emotionally exhausting. I don't like doing it, but I do it from time to time because I know others want it for me. They didn't understand why someone could feel like social interaction is work and that I should just grow up and be with people because it's unnatural only to want to spend time with my girlfriend and stepson and otherwise be a hermit. I said their opinion was fine, but that it did not change anything. I apologized that who I am upsets them and that if it hurts them, I am this way. We then moved on to talk about our relationships. I told my parents I have not forgiven them for making me raise my brother and sister when I was just a kid myself and that I almost certainly never will. I also told my sister I have an issue with her defending them for this. I understand they did their best and were gone because they were trying to make ends meet. But if they couldn't afford kids without always working and not being present, they shouldn't have had kids. They all pointed out that would mean my siblings and I likely wouldn't be alive. And I said I understood that, but it still stands in my opinion. There was a lot of fighting over this that I won't discuss. My brother didn't say much during this, but my brother-in-law said when it came to my parents, he may disagree with not forgiving them, but he understands why I feel the way I do. I told my brother and brother-in-law that on a personal level, I have zero issues with either of them and that if I had a normal social drive, perhaps we could have a closer relationship. I then reiterated that I was there for them if they ever needed me for something before I moved on to what I wanted to say to them. Some people pointed out that not being as involved with my sister's kid as she is with mine is unfair, so I thought about it. And those people may be right. So I told them all that we have two options moving forward. 1, we can have a limited relationship where they see me, my girlfriend, and stepson on birthdays, holidays, and special occasions. I will not do other hangouts and things with them or my future child. They will not do special things with my family and me. We see each other at these things and in emergencies only. I told them that when my stepson is older and old enough to make his own decisions, if he wants a further relationship with them, I would not stop him from pursuing it, and I would not poison the well. Or 2, we have no relationship moving forward, and we completely remove each other from our lives. I told them that the decision as to which option they want is up to them and can be taken on an individual basis and is, of course, open to future changes should all of us want them, and that they did not have to have an answer from me right away if they did not want to. Again, my parents and sister were upset. I gave them an ultimatum and said it was completely unfair. My brother and brother-in-law were both silent. I left and then got a call from my brother shortly thereafter. He said he accepts what I had to say even if he didn't quite understand my antisocial behaviors and wanted option 1 even if the others didn't. I told him I was happy he chose option 1 because if I got to choose any of them to interact with still, he would be my choice, and we'd be in touch.